What's up, guys? This is Manoj Bhuptani. I welcome you all on behalf of the Edupedia world. So, guys, we have already covered our chapter relating to money market and the various money market instruments that are available across our nation. So, this particular presentation is solely dedicated to the exam questions which have already been asked in the previous CA final examinations. So, I'm sure you guys have revised your entire topics relating to the chapter of money markets, and we are about to head start directly on the first examination question for that matter, and that is the examination question on treasury bills. This question was asked in CA final examination on treasury bills. So the question was, calculate the current price and the bond equivalent yield using simple compounding of a money market instrument with a face value of rupees 100 and discount yield of 8% in 90 days. Take the year as 360 days. It has been already mentioned to us that we need to take up the year as 360 days, because remember, guys, we've already discussed about this in my last presentation. For bond equivalent yield, usually we take a year as 365 days. However, having said that, since in this particular question it has already been told to us that we'll have to take up the year as 360 days, we'll be taking it as 360 days. So the solution with the same would be, we'll be able to implement the dy formula over here. So dy formula uses 360 days in a year and is calculated on fair value. Fair value, that is a face value over here, and it has to be taken care of in the denominator of the table. And the formula for that will be discount yield is equivalent to fair value, that is the face value, minus P, that is the price, issue price, divided by the face value into 360 whole divided by n into 100. So we have already been provided with the discount yield, that is 8%. So we'll be mentioning that in left hand side, which is equivalent to the face value, which is being mentioned as 100, minus the price which I've already paid in order to obtain this treasury bill, whole divided by 100 into 360 whole divided by 90, because the same has been mentioned in the question, that is 90 days. So solving this, we can simply get the current price, that is rupees 98. So a face value of 100, the current price of 98, we got 2% discount for a period of 90 days. So if we were able to extract the discount yield of 2% for 90 days, so what would that would have been if in case that would have been the annual? So 2% into 360 divided by 90, that is equivalent to 8%. So herein we got the current market price as rupees 98. So now let's obtain the bond equivalent yield. So bond equivalent yield formula, remember guys, it uses 365 days in a year and is calculated on actual investment, that is the price of T-bill over here. So bond equivalent yield is on the same lines, that is F minus P whole divided by F into 365 divided by N into 100. So wherein F means the face value, that is 100, minus P, that is the issue price, that is 98, whole divided by 100 into 365 whole divided by 90 into 100, we would get the bond equivalent yield as 8.28%. So guys, that was the question which has already been asked in CA final examination on treasury bills. That was a complete question for that, along with the solution. I guess you got clarity as to how to complete this question and present it properly in your CA final examination. Let's move to our next question. This is the question which already been asked in CA final examination on commercial paper. X Limited Company issued commercial paper as per the following details. Date of the issue is 17th January 2002. Date of maturity is 17th April 2002. Number of days is 90. Interest rate is 11.25. What was the net amount received by the company on issue of commercial paper? So we have been already provided 3 to 4 details. We have been provided the issue date, that is 17 January. we have been like provided date of maturity, that is 17th April. So we can simply say that the number of days which is being involved in this present scenario is 90 days. 3 months is the time. Interest rate is 11.25%. So what was the net amount received by the company on issue? So we just need to obtain the net amount in such case. So now let's solve this question. So first of all, the company has to provide a yield of 11.25%, which has already been mentioned in the question, to investors on his investment over 1 year. Therefore, we will use 365 days and calculate the difference between the price and the face value over his investment. In such cases, like we'll be having the yield, which is face value minus the amount which is being paid as issue price, that is A over here, or we can say like P whole divided by A into 365 divided by maturity period into 100. So wherein A is the net amount received from the investor, that is the issue price. Fy is assumed to be rupees 100. Maturity period has already been mentioned in the question as 90 days, and the interest is 11.25% over here. So we can simply put it as 11.25 as LHS equals to Fy minus A. Fe, that is face value amount, that is 100, minus the amount which is being paid by investor, that is A whole divided by A into 365 divided by maturity into 100. So by solving this, we will get the amount A as rupees 97.30. So guys, in order to complete this question without doubting that whether you did got the face value or not, because the same is not present or mentioned in the question. So remember, here's the catch. In this question, you'll have to assume the face value as rupees 100 or 1000, whatever the case may be. You can take it up. Better it is to use the face value as rupees 100. So that's the catch which you'll have to remember over here. Thus, if the company issues a commercial paper worth rupees 10 crores, the company would receive only 9.73 crores. So that's how this question actually works out. However, if I'll talk about the reality, in reality the issuer has to pay for various other issuing and paying costs like stamp duty, brokerage and rating expenses, and hence basically he would have this net amount or net of these expenses. It actually happens over here like that. So that was the question which was being asked in C final examination on the topic for commercial paper. Now let's move to our next question. This question was again asked in C final examination for commercial paper. Suppose a company issues commercial paper as per the following details. Date of issue, that is 17 January 2002. Date of maturity 17 April 2002. So that's how it's going on, and this question is exactly the same lines of the question which have already been asked in my last 2 slides. So that's going to happen on the same lines, but there will be some other catch over here. That's why this question has been particularly incorporated in this presentation of ours. So date of maturity is 17th April 2002. Number of days over here is 90. Face value is rupees 1000. Issue price is rupees 985. Credit rating expenditure is 0.5% of the issue size. So now the question has entirely taken up a different route as to what was available in our last question. So herein we have already been provided about the face value, that is rupees 1000, the issue price, that is 985, credit rating expenses which are expenses like 0.5% of the issue size, IPA charges 0.35, stamp duty 0.5%. What is the cost of commercial paper and what is the yield to investor? Let's head to the solution of this question. So herein we have been provided for the yield. So yield can be computed with the formula, that is face value minus the amount which is expected to be received from the investor, that is the issue price, whole divided by the issue price into 360 whole divided by the maturity period into 100. So here in this question, the face value is rupees 1000. The amount received from the investor is rupees 985. whole divided by the face value, that is rupees 1000, into 360, maturity period is 90 days, into 100, that is 6%. So the yield comes to a total of 6%. Now, for calculating the yield to investor, we'll take up the sale price in the denominator and use 365 days for representing a year. So that's on the same line for bond equivalent yield. Guys, remember the formula. So the yield to investor in such case would be 1000 minus 985 whole divided by the sale price in the denominator, that is 985, into 365 whole divided by 90 into 100. So the yield to investor in such case is 6.18%. So the total cost to issuer is yield, that is the kind of opportunity cost that is likely to be paid, plus there are credit rating expenditure, plus there is stamp duty expenses, plus there is some IPA charges. So in the following present case, the total cost to issuer is 6.18%, which is likely to be paid to the investor, plus there is the credit rating expenses, that is 0.5%, plus stamp duty expenses, that is 0.5%. And finally, there are some IPA charges, that is 0.0875%. So in total, the total cost to issuer is 7.275%. So that was a question which was being asked in CA final examination for, which is based on the lines of commercial paper. I hope you guys got a complete clarity about the presentation and how to formulate the question steps while performing the same during your CA final examination. Perfect, guys. Let's move to our next question, and that is the question which was being asked in CA final examination for November 2010 and May 2012. The question was, from the following particulars, calculate the effective rate of interest per annum as well as the total cost of funds for Bhaskar Limited, which is planning a commercial paper issue. So following details have been provided to us, and the first one is issue price of the commercial paper is rupees 97,550. That is the issue price. Face value is rupees 1 lakh. Maturity period is 3 months. Issue expenses which are being involved in raising of this issue. Brokerage, that is 0.15% for 3 months. Then there are some rating charges. Those are 0.50 per annum basis. And then there is some stamp duty, that is 0.175% for the next 3 months. So we'll have to compute them for annually basis, separately from taking care of an monthly one. So let's head to its solution now. So this question is on the same lines which was being asked in my last slide, on the same lines approximately on that. So the solution would be, firstly we'll have to calculate the yield to investor in such case. So wherein we'll have to take care of face value, we'll have to take care of the issue price, we'll have to take care of the maturity. So face value minus IP divided by IP into 12 divided by maturity. We can actually use 365 or 360 days divided maturity as well. So wherein on the same lines we can simply use 12 as the number of months in a year, whole divided by maturity into 100. In the following present case, the face value is 1 lakh rupees. And we have our issue price, that is 97,550 whole divided by 97,550 into 12 divided by maturity period, that is 3 months, into 100. We'll be actually able to get the yield to investor, and that is 10.05%. So now remember, in the last question as well, we'll have to compute the total cost to Bhaskar Limited considering the other issue expenses along with the yield. So that's not just the yield which is being provided to the investor, plus the company is also losing on brokerage, rating charges and stamp duty. So overall, the total cost for Bhaskar Limited is 10.05% for yield to investor, 0.15% into 4 because that was for 3 months. So we'll have to compute that annually. So brokerage is 0.15 into 4. Plus, then there are some rating charges which were on per annum basis, that is 0.5%, plus there is one stamp duty charges, 0.175 into 4, because that was mentioned for 3 months. So wherein we'll be able to extract the total cost for Oscar Limited, and that is 11.85%. This was the question which was being asked in CE final examination for November 2010 and May 2012. I hope you guys got a complete clarity as to what kind of questions are usually asked in CE final examination level. Once you have the complete clarity of the topic, I guess and I surely believe that nobody can even deny you to make your performance way better than any other person over there. Certainly you'll be able to perform the level best because you are clear and thorough with your concepts. So the last question of this presentation would be, this is the question which was asked in CA final examination for certificate of deposits. That is the last question for this presentation. P company has to make a payment of rupees 2 crore and on 16th April 1998. It has a surplus money today, that is on 15th January 1998, and the company has decided to invest in certificate of deposits of a leading nationalized bank at 8% per annum. What money is required to invest it now, taking year as 365 days? So P company has to make a payment of rupees 2 crores on 16th April 1998. Today is 15th January and the company has already decided to invest in certificate of deposits at a percentage of 8% per annum. So what is the money which is required to be invested now so that you'll be able to make a payment of rupees 2 crores on 16th April 1998? So let's move to the solution of this question. That will be, CDs are basically issued at discount. Remember guys, that was already discussed in our last presentation. CDs are issued at a discount and the discount amount is paid from front end. By front end means basically at the time of issue itself. So that's how they work. So what's the formula for CD? Herein the discount basically. So the formula for discount is given as 1 into R divided by 100, wherein R is the rate of discounting, into N divided by 365, wherein N is the number of months or days. D is equivalent to 1 into 8. 8 was the rate of discounting, into 91 divided by 365 days. 365 is the overall days. 91 is the days which have been already calculated from 15 January 1998 to 16th April 1998. So there comes 91 days in such case. So therefore D, that is the discount yield over here, is equivalent to rupees 0.0199452. That's how it actually works. Amount to be received on face value, rupees 1, that is 1 plus rupees 0.0199452, which is equivalent to rupees 1.0199452. So that's how it actually works in case of CDs, that is certificate of deposits. If the amount to be received is rupees 2 crore in such case, then the amount to be invested today is 2 crores whole divided by 1.0199452. The amount will come as 1 crore 96 lakh 8,897 in such case. That's how it works. So guys, this was the question which was being asked in C final examination for some attempt, and which has not been mentioned over here in my study material. Plus this question was solely made on certificate of deposits. So I guess you guys got the complete clarity about the relating to what kind of questions are asked in the C final examination as far as this particular chapter is concerned. Yes, you guys got the complete clarity relating to them. I'll be concluding my video with a dose of motivation, and that will be, tough times never last, but tough people do. So there are chances that you will be able to see out, there was a tough time and that is not going to pass. Then even if that comes and goes, there are chances that another tough time is going to appear in your face, at your face over there, and you'll have to strictly follow that as well. So that tough time is never going to last. Pretty soon But surely one has to ensure that tough people do. So one has to take care of all these cases like, okay, tough times may come and go, but tough people have to last over there. And certainly you'll have to follow those kind of actions time and again so as to ensure that you do survive. Charles Darwin says about the survival of the fittest, and that's on the same lines. This kind of theory is being evaluated as a dose of motivation of my video. I'll be concluding with a thanks on behalf of the Edupedia world. Keep interacting, guys, via our questions and comment boxes on our YouTube channel. Stay connected via our questions. That will help us in understanding your needs way better, and that will make me realize the kind of work which you guys are actually doing as far as this particular subject is concerned, which is a lovely one amongst all the 8 subjects, because that's my subject and I love my subject for that matter. Take care, guys. Love you. I'll see you in my next forthcoming presentation. Till then, enjoy your day. Bye.